things them. Money, gold, silver, motorcar, land, more than spiritual things them. It go difficult for let you live a holy life. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. When somebody, the love of God, a day inside a heart, right? Believe me, my dear brothers and sisters, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, love, you go see inside that person there. You go see the real attribute of God in the life of that leader. So we see, say, today, many people, let us read from the good news. It say in Matthew chapter 6, what did he say? Verse 21. Matthew 6, verse 21. You don't discover God. I don't say if you go church and mock so. Now, only the people that will know them God, the Bible says now then go do exploit. Matthew 6, verse 21. I read. For your heart will always be where your riches are. Your hearts will always be where your riches are. Now that can make, just like what I don't say, some gentlemen, they're not sleep in the net. You know what to make them not sleep? Because they know side their money day. They know side their gold day. They know side their diamond day. They know who side the things them we then get. They know side a day. And they always not go sleep because if they think say, thief man go, thief man go broke in, thief man go clear. So we see that whatever you value in this life, now it go preoccupy your mind, your thoughts, your actions, and your conscience. If you really value God in your life, you go value within your ideas go be purity of life, goodness, kindness, faithfulness, and other noble attributes them. And then attributes are so. Now it will be the source of your motivation in your leadership. But it is sad today that many people will really be in leadership, especially when we look at the African continent. Well, not only Africa now, even the world today. The world don't become so evil because people no longer want to retain God in their mind. And so as a result, we don't get love for one another. We not get concern for another person. It's all about us, about me, mine, me pikin, me wife, me paddy. What about the others? We're not a part of that group there. They're not going to benefit anything from you. If at all, then they either not benefit nothing, or if they benefit at all, now small no more for bad name's sake. Right? So we see that when God did they talk to Moses, he did give the law to the children of Israel. He be very, very clear and emphatic and intentional in talking to the nation of Israel, just the way they talk to it today. In Deuteronomy chapter 6. When God told Moses, Jesus Christ himself we can at the same thing tell we. Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 4 to 5. I read. This now the command where God been give, the commandment where God give to Moses for the children of Israel. He said, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might." So you see, when Jesus Christ himself come, when Jesus Christ come, now the same command he give to me and you too. Right? We for waiting. We for love the Lord with God with all we waiting, with all we heart, all with soul, and with strength. That's now Matthew chapter 22, verse 37. Matthew 22, verse 37. Matthew 22, verse 37. Matthew 22, verse 37. Jesus said unto him, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart." Remember, he's still there in leadership school. "And with all thy soul, and with all thy mind." What did verse 38 say now? This is the first and the great commandment. This is the first and the great commandment. In Mark chapter 12, verse 30. You want to become a leader, a good leader, God number one. Mark chapter 12, verse 30. He says, "And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart." Remember now the 12 disciples and Christ they trained so into leadership. "And with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength." This is the first commandment. The first commandment in leadership is God. You for love God with all your heart. And if truly you love God, then you not get nothing for do with anything when they deal with Satan. In Luke chapter 10, verse 27. Luke 10, verse 27. Luke 10, 27. Luke 10, 27. And he answering said, that is still the address in the train. "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy heart, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself." So the true love way for make we lead well as leaders, it first of all come out from we love what we get for God. So anybody when a cult, an occult person, when a member of any fraternity or secret society person, it go difficult for them able for love the people that love them genuinely. If case for themselves, between the ordinary person, we're not a part of a fraternity or part of a waiting, you know without that it is show more concern to now in society member on fraternity member. Now in a number one priority. The ordinary man. Now be a number you go be a. And that is where we are today in Africa. Sierra Leone in particular. I read that verse again. Luke 10, 27. "And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself. You love what you get for your neighbor. It come up first from your love. And your love, they come up from who? From God. Because I be tell you, say, the early part of we teaching, I be tell you, what I be tell you, say, I be tell you, say, we leadership, now from God, we life, now from God, it come out. We life, now from God, it come out. We life, now from God, it come out. So, if somebody don't become a leader, then the person may not know God. You may say, waiting will happen to that person in leadership. You may say, it will do well. Not at all. Because water we forget in source, it will run dry. You go able to forget a good heart. You go able to forget wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in leading your people if your heart is connected to God. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul. I know they talk about some